When they voted me off the church committee, I smiled and thanked them for their honesty. I even clapped when they announced my replacement. No one noticed that I was the only one in the room who already knew how the meeting had been tense for weeks. Whispers in the hallway. Conversations that stopped when I entered the room. They said I was out of touch, too old-fashioned, too slow with decisions. What they really meant was, I asked too many questions, and questions make careless people uncomfortable. The new committee chair, Melissa, stood up that evening and spoke about fresh vision and modern leadership. Everyone nodded. I nodded too. What Melissa didn't mention was the renovation fund. $380,000. Money that had quietly disappeared from discussion over the last 6 months. I had asked about it twice. Both times I was told not to worry. So I stopped asking publicly and started checking privately. You see, 10 years ago when my husband passed, he left something to the church, not money, oversight. He had insisted that any large capital project required 2 legacy signatures, one from the acting chair and one from a trustee. I was that trustee. They forgot that part. Or maybe they assumed I wouldn't understand the paperwork. The week after the vote, Melissa announced the church hall renovation would begin immediately. Contract signed. Funds allocated, construction scheduled. There was only one problem. My signature was missing. And without it, the bank wouldn't release a single dollar. That's when the calls started. First polite, then irritated, then desperate. Bernice, surely this is a misunderstanding. It's not personal. We're just trying to move forward. I agreed. It wasn't personal. It was procedural. And procedure matters when money disappears. I asked for a full accounting of the renovation fund, every invoice, every transfer, every authorization. Suddenly, the tone shifted. I wasn't out of touch anymore. I was difficult. I was holding the church hostage. Interesting how quickly language changes when leverage changes. 3 days later, I received the financial summary. It wasn't incomplete. It was careless, overpayments, a contractor related to Melissa's cousin, administrative adjustments, small enough to hide, large enough to matter. I could have exposed it publicly. I could have called an emergency congregation meeting. Instead, I scheduled a private appointment with the senior pastor. I laid the documents in front of him one by one. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I simply asked him to explain the numbers to me. He couldn't. By the end of the week, the renovation was postponed. The contractor withdrew. Melissa stepped down to focus on family matters. No announcement explained why. There didn't need to be one. At the next Sunday service, I sat in the 3rd row like I always do. No one voted me back in. No apology was offered. But no one avoided eye contact either. They understood quietly. But here's the part I didn't expect. Melissa's mother has attended that church for 40 years. She no longer sits near me. Some friends stopped inviting me to the post-service lunches. There's a kind of distance now, respectful but cold. I protected the church. I protected the money. I protected my husband's legacy. But I fractured something softer. Community. Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't feel victorious. It feels lonely. Tell me honestly, if you were in my position, would you have exposed everything publicly? Or would you have stayed quiet like I did?